Hey guys, I'm streaming. Let's go. Wait, let me post that I'm streaming. Oh no, my hair looks horrible. Okay, wait. Let me make sure that you could see the whole stream. Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, hey there, if anyone's watching. Okay, I'm gonna play PC game today. Oh wow, wait, the volume is like so loud. Okay, wait, I can finally hear myself talk. That's good. We're gonna bet the maximum, which is $160 per spin. And let's get some houses, yo. Oh, I was watching like a movie recently from maybe like the 80s, and they said yo, and I was like, wait, I didn't realize that people said yo back then. If you're in the chat, did you know that people said yo back then? That is news to me. Anyway, I hope you guys are like so happy for my highly intellectual observations. Okay, looks like we're up already today. What a good day on the BC game grind. You know what's so amazing about slot machines is that you can literally like 100x your bet, like with a much higher probability that you would like ever 100x your like poker tournament buy-in. Like actually, I mean, when's the last time you cashed in a poker tournament for 100x your buy-in? You must have had to literally win like a super large field tourney with that's like very top heavy. Like 100xing your poker tournament buy-in is like so rare. I don't even know if I've ever done that. Oh wait, actually, okay, last fall I did like literally won like a $22 online tournament for like actually 25K because I won. Well, technically, I guess the buy-in was like 44 because I had to win like both tournaments on the same day. So okay, that's like, I guess I'm so bad at math. That like 500x my buy-in, 25K in for 44. I guess that would be like a bit more than 500x, I think. But yeah, I mean, that's really rare. But in slot machines, you could you could 100x, like, I feel like with a much higher frequency. Oh, okay, let's go. Oh my god. No, we didn't get the third wall. I have no idea what this royal pass is, but I really don't think it's like going to be worth $160 today. I don't even know how to find it. Like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep spinning $160. Seems like a great plan. No, but actually, I'm literally up, like, okay, my balance, I was in for, like, I think 40K, and my balance now is 274K, so that means I'm up, like, 234K on VC Game, which means that it's the best site ever. Okay, some people chatted now, which is really cool because no one chats on here. Okay, the Kiss said 999 not for you. Bastrag said sup, you will lose everything. Okay, well, I guess then you should pray for me. No, but legit, like, I'm in for 40K on here. My balance now is 273K, so that's actually up quite a lot. So, what do you have to say now at Bastrag? Okay, let's go. Oh no. Bastrag said, did you win grand? I actually did win. Okay, I was playing video poker and I flopped a royal flush, betting $500, so that that one was 400K. The Kiss 88 said, how is Prague? Down a lot, so I guess not amazing. Yeah, I can't really say anything good happened there because, like I said, I lost a lot, but I got 10th in the ladies event for 3,300 euros, but I was in for 3K euros. And then they had this really interesting tourney called Euro versus the World. The first flight was Euros. The second flight was everyone else. And of course, the everyone else flight actually lasted 2 levels less time to get into the money than Euros. I mean, what a surprise. But yeah, I was in the soft flight, obviously. Yeah, I got like 37th in that for 7,800 euros, and then I won a satellite to the like 8,400 euro high roller, which amounts to like pretty much exactly very close to 10K USD. But I lost very early on, which I'm sure you guys are so surprised about. Yeah, no, I did not have a good series. Did you guys play Prague? Ooh, we got the wolves. But yeah, 2 of my main event flights, like, oh my god, I just don't even know, like, why I did this. I basically just took 2 lines that, like, I would literally never take online now, so, like, I don't know, like, why the fuck I did that. Like, it literally goes against my entire, like, exploitative bluff little, formula, which I'm not gonna tell you guys. I know you probably think it's like something like, ooh, that guy looked at me funny, so I'm gonna block him now. But no, it's actually, I think it's quite good. But yeah, like I said, did not, like, yeah, so what I did just, like, completely goes against that. So I just don't know why the fuck I did that. Yeah, and literally very similar horrible lines twice. Yeah, like once in two different main bullets, and it's like I would never even, like, look, I haven't, I mean, I've played, like, I don't know, like, many thousands of hands in the last few days, and, like, I didn't take that line, like, literally a single time, so, like, I just don't know, like, what the fuck I was doing, seriously. But yeah, I'm pretty tilted at myself about that. Zach has said, what line did you take? Should I say? Okay, well, the first thing I'll say is that, like, my line, given the SPR on the turn, just, like, didn't make any sense. Like, really fucking stupid. Oh, yeah, okay, one of them was actually, like, okay, so I guess so, like, I haven't played live in a couple months, and I would say like, the situations where I guess, like, I don't perform as well are basically, like, versus, versus situations that, like, I don't normally encounter. So, like, basically, it was, like, me, UTG1 or something, and then, okay, no, this is what happened, okay. It's, like, UTG open, me 3-bet, like, UTG1, and then, like, UTG2 just cold call, which obviously is, like, not something that you encounter very often online, because, like, it's not really, like, a scenario that exists in theory. But anyway, yeah, I just, like, took a really stupid line on the turn that didn't make any sense given the SPR, and, like, I think if I had just given myself a little bit more time to think, I would have done something much differently. But yeah, that was one of the punts. The other was in a different flight. But yeah, I would say, like, both really fucking horrible. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing that's, like, I guess kind of, like, devastating about, like, punting in, like, a huge live tournament. It's like, okay, I could get away with, like, online making a mistake like this, like, once in a blue moon, because you play so many hands online that, like, the main thing that matters is that you play decently for, like, most of the hands that you play. But if for some reason you fucking, like, spaz out and do something retarded, like, into, like, 5K flights, like, obviously, like, not in terms of, like, big blind for 100 EV, but in terms of, like, actual money EV, that, like, counts way more than, you know, if you're just playing, like, maybe, like, the biggest buy-in I would normally play online on, like, a Sunday is, like, 500, so, like, that's a big difference. And I also just, like, I don't know, something about, like, I don't know. I mean, I know there's like really like quick time banks online, obviously. Even shorter than like the time bank in like this live tournament. But something about like being like behind a computer, I guess, just makes me feel like a little bit more at ease. I don't know. But yeah, it's weird. Like most people obviously like have a much higher win rate in live tournaments, and like I still think that I do, obviously, just because like the players are a lot worse. But like, okay, like another good thing about online is that because there's like so many tables, I feel like when I do make a mistake, like, you know how like after a long time playing, you do have like a pretty good intuition, like if you made a mistake or not. And like when that happens online, I feel like I could just like mentally move past it like a lot quicker because there's so much going on. But live, like you're literally playing like one hand at a time. So like I'll get in my head like obsessing over like potential mistakes sometimes, and like I don't think that's optimal. Like optimally, you would be able to just like compartmentalize your mistakes. So like, okay, you realize you fucked up, but then you can just forget about it until after you're done playing when you can study. But like and that can be like a lot harder to do when you're live playing one hand at a time versus like playing lots of tables online. So yeah, but still, like I said, overall, like I think for sure my win rate is obviously like way higher online, I mean way higher live. But like there are some like unique things about live that I guess like trip me up more mentally, maybe. Anyway, that's my little rant that all my 3 viewers, I'm sure, are so like no, I'm making some kind of sarcastic joke. Like obviously I just sound stupid as fuck. Anyway, I'm sure you're all thinking like yeah, I'm sure what you're all thinking is that, wow, like I must just be like so fucking bad at poker. Like I just don't even realize that like most of the things I'm doing are mistakes. And you know what? You're right. I am like so fucking horrible at poker. No, but yeah, like I literally tell everyone that. Like I'm just so bad at poker. Okay, that's probably like not the best thing to be saying like on this stream, but like I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit silly when like anyone says anything other than that about themselves. Anyway, I think you guys gave up like asking questions because I'm just like so fucking stupid. You can't even tolerate listening to me. Oh, Zach has said, you are my poker hero. Well, thank you. Okay, why? Tell me why. I'm curious. Dara, you're on my stream. Thank you. Okay, actually, you know what? Wait, Dara, since you're here, like, listening to this stream, why don't I just tell you my idea now for the podcast? Are you, like, okay, wait, yeah, can you text again to let me know you're actually at the stream? Or else, like, I'm not gonna talk about it. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, basically, like, okay, well, I'll just tell you the full story because I still have 30 minutes left of this stream. Okay, basically, so, yeah, the first time I was ever on a live tournament stream was actually this past series, like the WSOP main in Prague, and yeah, that actually happened to be the time when I didn't horrendously punt. Okay, yeah, thanks. Okay, yeah, I see you're here at this stream. Okay, cool. So yeah, Sean Deeb and Ollie were commentating that day, and basically some really, okay, there's only 3, oh wait, there are 9 viewers now, okay. Yeah, I was about to talk about, like, this, like, huge normal exploit that I do that I didn't take on the stream from, like, button and cutoff when I was deep, but anyway, let me not talk about it since now, okay, 9 viewers might actually be like, maybe I don't want to say that to 9 viewers, but anyway, so first, yeah, I was button, I'm not going to tell you what I had, but Mizrachi was big blind, and yeah, I was a little bit concerned to open loose versus him on the button, even though I was deep. Like, I just sat down, so I didn't really know, like, how he plays. Like, I didn't really watch much poker TV. Anyway, yeah, so I didn't open. Anyway, no one would have thought this was a mistake. Like, the commentators, they obviously would have thought, okay, obvious fold, cut off, again, potential loose open, and this time I thought it was, like, kind of a nit in the big blind, but I still didn't open. Anyway, no one's ever going to think this is a mistake. Okay. Then, so a lot of people had, like, this issue at WSOP Prague. Basically, they made, like, the 1Ks either, okay, so the 5Ks were yellow, which, I just, like, thought in my head, like, the yellows are 1Ks, and a lot of people have this problem because normally that's, like, the chip colors. Anyway, okay, so I'm hijack with queen 6 suited, we're deep, like 70 bigs, and this is, like, literally, like, the threshold to open, like, literally, like, it's, like, even in theory, like, it's not a mistake to fold it. Yeah, obviously, like, it would have been a better open here because I thought everyone behind besides Mizrachi is, like, probably too nitty. And then I saw small blind, and I thought that they literally have 5K because I forget what the big blind was, but that would have been, like, literally, like, I think, like, less than 10 bigs or something. So obviously then, like, I definitely don't want to open queen 6 suited, but then it turns out those were 5Ks, I think, so he actually had a lot more than that. And then I literally got in my head, like, mad at myself for making that mistake. Because actually, if he did have 5Ks, I think it would have been, like, a good open versus, yeah, like I said, my read was that everyone besides Mizrachi was, like, pretty nitty. Anyway, so then I got, like, mad at myself about that, which these are, like, such, like, small, like, mistakes, like, no one would even think, like, anyway. Okay, so then I also, like, yeah, I didn't really, like, probably didn't get enough sleep, so I got, like, really paranoid at myself. And then I literally said, oh my god, like, I like, totally made a mistake. And I only said this because it was a stream. I would not say this, like, live anymore about something like that. But yeah, okay. And then Mizrachi was like, wait, what? Like, what's the problem? It's like, oh my god. Like, I literally, like, I should have opened something, but I thought, like, the small blind was really short. Like, I thought those were 1Ks, but they're actually 5Ks. And then he's like, wait, like, what did you open? Probably expecting me to say something, like, way tighter than queen 6 suited. And then I definitely shouldn't have, like, answered, I think. Because obviously I don't want people to know that I'm opening this, but I just asked her honestly, queen 6 suited. And he's like, wait, what? I mean, and he was like, well, like, I would open that, but, like, most people would open that. I was like, oh my god, I thought this guy had one case. Okay, anyway, this is, like, not even the point of the story. My whole point about this part is that I was getting, like, super paranoid at myself, for, like, these really, like, marginal, like, mistakes. I mean, the thing I was talking about before button and cutoff are, like, literally so far from theory, you guys would not even believe it, but... And I'm sure it was even, like, the right decision, obviously, not knowing yet, like, how Mizrachi's playing. So, if I'm not sure if he's, like, a nit, and he's, like, first big blind, then small blind, like, okay, those hands, like, are definitely not opens, like, if I don't have a good read yet. So, anyway, okay. Anyway, I totally, like, bored you guys by this whole, like, this whole silly rant, but, okay. Anyway, the whole point is that, oh yeah, okay. And then, actually, unfortunately, this hand didn't get, like, they didn't, you know, I was on stream, but, like, they didn't actually, they have, like, 3 stream tables, and they didn't actually get this hand, which I'm really surprised about, because it was, like, actually, like, a very interesting hand, but they didn't. So anyway, what happened was, okay, again, this is a good example of, like, a situation where I'm really unfamiliar with, so I, like, wasn't sure what to do, so I probably made, like, well, there's 3 different decisions, right, and I probably made, like, the second worst decision. So anyway, what happened was, Mizrachi was actually straddling, like, okay, it's a tourney, right, he's blind, like, I guess it's a straddle, but, like, he's blind raising, like, every time he's UTG. So this guy, at this point, we've only played, like, maybe, like, an orbit and a half, but my read on him was that he's, like, probably too nitty. But anyway, okay, big blinds, 2,400. He raises to 6K. And then I'm in a small blind with King 10 suited, and I have, like, 50 bigs at this point, and yeah, the guy who raised his UTG straddle was actually pretty short, like, he had, like, 20 bigs, so I really didn't know what to do here, because, like, King 10 suited, like, anyway, in hindsight, and, like, Sean Deeb, who was commentating, also told me this as well. He said, like, okay, he would have folded, but then as played, really good what I did. So basically, yeah, I ended up calling King 10 suited, which I got scared was, like, the worst decision, but then, anyway, my coach told me, like, yeah, because at first I was thinking maybe I should have just jammed, but yeah, it's good that I did it. Anyway, oh my god, sorry, I'm, like, literally going on, like, crazy about this hand, but, okay, so I call King 10 suited, like, 50 big, small blind, versus, UTG 1's raise versus Mizrachi's blind straddle and UTG. UTG 1 has, like, 20. And then Mizrachi has, like, more than me. Like, he hovers me, so maybe, like, 100. Like, he had a lot. Okay, so then Mizrachi calls. Okay, flop is King Deuce, and then, like, another card. Okay. Okay, I don't want to butcher this hand history. Okay. Mizrachi check. The razor bets 5 into 20. Wait. Okay. Yeah, he bets about a quarter, so, like, 5 into, like, 20. I call with King 10 suited on King Deuce X. Mizrachi calls. The turn is a deuce. Now it checks through. The river is, like, it's not really, like, card changing, right? I would have remembered. But anyway, Mizrachi check. The razor jams literally so small. Like, his jam now is, like, literally, like, significantly less than half pot, I would say. It was it was like 13K into like 35K. So not like, yeah, significantly less. Okay, I'm sitting here with like literally the worst hand that I would ever have here. Any other pair like lower than a king, like I'm not calling, versus like this guy's like bet on the flop. And then obviously like I don't have a worse king here. So like king 10 suited was like literally like I wouldn't have called like king 9 suited. So like king 10 suited, that's like the bottom of my range here. So anyway, whenever I'm like at the bottom of my range and I have a close spot, I'm just like, you know what, probably should let this one go. Okay, so I folded, and then Mizrachi calls. Mizrachi has like some random deuce, and then the opener has ace king. Anyway, this was like a really interesting hand that I'm surprised they didn't show on the stream, but anyway, I guess it didn't make it. But like Deep and like Ollie like saw all of these hands because they have to like go through and like see everyone's hands. And then we were like literally at the same table the next day, like me and Deep, and like he said, and he heard me like literally stressing out on the stream, and he said like he thought like I played great, which is like actually a huge compliment. And like he said like he would have folded king 10 free, but he thought like the river fold was like, I forget the word, but it was like a really nice word, like yeah, it was just like a really, I forget what he said, but some kind of very nice like descriptor. And he said he thought like I played great. I'm too hard on myself, which I took as like a huge compliment from Deeb. But anyway, okay, my whole point is that I was literally like getting so paranoid about like all these hands, and like anyway, I ended up like just ended up being like, okay, I bet like Dara has like left at this point. No, okay, thankfully I think Dara's still here. Okay, so the whole point of the story, which literally has nothing to do pretty much with everything I just said, but yeah, so I basically ended up starting to like, I was just like in the mood feeling like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like I feel like my brain is just like so fucked up. So I started to like Google like just like stuff about like brains and stuff, and like I ended up Googling like I'd actually seen a picture of this before, but I didn't, for some reason I didn't really like investigate it before. But basically I looked up like what do like difference between brain scans of like normal brains and like people with like, I guess, I don't know, I mean it's not the best thing to say on the stream, but like people with like I guess like who went through like child abuse and stuff. And then I ended up seeing that like, okay, like literally like your brain just like looks completely different. And then okay, anyway, where am I going with this? Okay, basically like yeah, I don't know, I ended up realizing that I think actually looking at images like this would be really helpful for people who like, I guess like went through similar stuff, because I always had like this idea like, because I made like a lot of like crazy like fucked up decisions in my life, and I thought like maybe I'm just like, in some cases maybe I'm just like a bad person or something for like, I don't know, getting like super mad at people over like really small things. Or like, I mean I never had that problem in poker for some reason, because for some reason my brain, I just understand that like literally the cards I get are out of control. But like in relationships, for example, I always like get really mad when I feel like someone's like someone like, I guess it's like within their control to like, I don't know, not like, I guess do something hurtful to me or whatever, or just like random things with people where, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not doing a good job of explaining this, but then I like saw these brain scans and I was like, wait, like maybe I'm just like trapped in my head, like thinking that like everyone else is like thinking the way that I'm thinking all the time, where I'm constantly thinking like everyone else is like, I guess like just like really harshly like I basically just, I always assume that I'm like making the wrong decision and stuff, and like I'm never like in the moment. So I don't know. Wait, okay. Um okay, Dara's still watching. Okay. Yeah. Basically like, okay, anyway, where this like ties into poker is that um okay, so like originally when I started playing poker, I was actually like I was always like interested in theory. So like even just like I started playing in 2019, and then in 2020 I was already using Pio before GTO was a thing, and like I could see like, you know what, like the solver like always wants to be balanced. Like it's going to have bluffs in like pretty much every, like almost every spot. Like yeah, I mean pretty much any spot where it's like polar in any way, there's gonna be bluffs. So I always thought like, back then, very long time ago, I thought, okay, for example, I need to like have like, well, I don't know if I should say a spot where I probably wouldn't have bluffs, but okay, let's just take like some really under bluff spot. Like obviously the minute that like people are calling too much, which they are, like all of these like 0.01 winning like bluffs in theory, they're just like losing a lot. So I always like just didn't understand how other people are thinking. I thought, oh, because like I would have a bluff in this spot, like other people would too. And you could see how obviously that made me like a losing player back then, because I was like just always thinking like how do my blockers like interact with their range. Like that was literally my thought process, which is so fucking stupid. Like the first thing you need to think is like, it should be like like what would someone else's range look like here, like what are they gonna do here. So like the minute that people are like calling too much in some spot, and the only bluffs in this spot are only winning like 0.01 bigs in theory, like obviously you should not bluff here. But like, okay, anyway, this all ties back into the brain thing, because I really like evolved as a poker player when I started like basically just, okay, putting this stupid like blocker interaction thing on like the back, in like the back of my mind, and first being like, okay, like what does this size mean from someone else? Are they like likely to be like too passive or too aggressive in this spot? Like these things are just way more important than like how do your blockers interact. Okay, so basically the whole brain thing, it's like I always thought, okay, because I'm constantly thinking like, oh my god, I'm so horrible, like just always thinking like everything I do is wrong, and basically just being miserable, like I kind of just assumed like, for example, if I'm hanging out with someone, I would just literally be asking them like, even if they're just like sitting there chilling, I would be like, wait, like is everything good, like are you okay, like me, because I'm always like miserable because of like stuff that happened to me in the past, and like just like how my brain works now. I thought like, oh, someone who's just like sitting there is like miserable, like there's no way they would just want to just like sit here and chill with me, like but yeah, and then this made me think, okay, maybe like there's just something wrong with my brain. And yeah, okay, anyway, that's my whole story. Yeah, I did not do a good job of explaining that. Well, anyway, yeah. Anyway, okay, Quickie Gaming said, cops coming for you. Well, I mean, I don't know, I never, like, uh, oh, Zach has said it was on the stream. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, I didn't like watch the whole stream. I thought that it wasn't there. But now I kind of want to clip it and post that hand. Well, thanks for letting me know. But yeah, okay. Anyway, so I just like told Dara what probably sounds like the most like boring, non-interesting story of all time, but actually I think like if I don't know, maybe just like write this stuff down and like figure out like exactly when I want to say, I think it actually could be good because like for other people who are like, I don't know, dealing with like, I guess, issues, I feel like if they just like, if you think you're like, I don't know, okay, you know, people like with PTSD, like it literally impacts like your prefrontal cortex, which makes you like, you always feel like there's some kind, like you're always like on edge, feeling like there's some kind of threat. So like that makes you want to like lash out at people and stuff because you always feel like there's like a threat or something. And like me, like I guess lashing out at people, for example, made me feel like maybe like I'm like a bad person. And then even though I never actually like hurt anybody, I just like said like really stupid shit, like I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I think if other people who have like similar issues just like saw like the brain scans, they might end up feeling a lot better. Yeah, like it's actually crazy, like yeah. Anyway. I was gonna say, like, it's crazy, like, how different, like, an actual brain scan, like, physical evidence of, like, a normal brain looks like from someone, like, who was, like, abused their whole childhood. So I feel like this could, like, this information, like, helps me, and I feel like it could help, like, other people. But, yeah, I need to, like, write it down and just put in, like, a succinct way, like, how it relates to poker. Because, yeah, a big problem is, like, for example, nits. They think that everyone else is thinking like them. So, nits will, like, fold way more versus aggro players who they shouldn't fold versus because they still, even if they're deviating a little bit versus a crazy player, they still just have it in their head, like, other players are playing like how they're playing. And then crazy players, like, they also, I think, talk themselves too often into, like, making bad calls and stuff because they think, like, again, other people are acting how they're acting, or, like, are thinking how they're thinking, so, like, they end up, yeah, calling too much versus players who they shouldn't. I mean, these are two just, like, really basic examples. Obviously, it's way, way, way more complex than this in poker, but yeah, so I think I could, like, tie this whole brain thing back into poker and say, like, in order to, like, really improve as a poker player, like, you need to be, like, I mean, basically you just can't get, like, attached to, like, your own mentality. Like, the best players are doing, like, two sides of the exploit, right? Like, I mean, I probably should talk about this, but like, the best players are being, like, hyper aggressive when hyper aggressive, like, versus passivity, and basically taking the exact other side of the coin as well, where if other people like who they don't have a read on are now being aggressive, then they end up playing very nitty versus them. And honestly, that's like what, like, being able to have these like multiple mentalities is really like, I think, what distinguishes like the best players from everyone else, because like the best players are always able to basically do like any different side of the exploit, like always thinking dynamically. And I feel like most players kind of are only able, like most players are too nitty, but like then some players are just like another big subset of players are just way too aggressive in any spot, but the best players are basically like hyper aggressive versus passivity, and then the minute that people who they don't have reads on are being aggressive, then they're able to like take the other exploit, like the other side of the exploit, and fold more than you should in theory, basically. But yeah, anyway. Oh. Wait, Dara said, I remember you were sad when GTO Wizard made everything easier than Pio. You love Pio. Okay, actually, I don't remember when I said that. That must have been like a really long time ago. But, yeah, so I used to be in, like, so I used to, like, be super obsessed with, like, playing, like, trying to follow, like, equilibrium strategy. But that was a long time ago. Like, that was, like, the first, like, I've been playing for 7 years now, and that was, like, literally the whole, like, first, like, 4 years of when I was playing, is I was literally trying to, like, I thought, okay, I can't trust, like, any of my own instincts, even if I have a gut feeling, like, obviously, like, this person's too nitty or whatever, I was like, okay, like, I can't deviate, like, I'm not smart enough, like, I just need to try to do what I think would happen in equilibrium, and if I do that, I'm gonna have some kind of win rate. Well, that is, like, a horrible mentality, but, and I don't think there's, like, many players now who are, like, doing something, like, so, like, trying to do something extremely strict, like, trying to play equilibrium, but I do think there are a lot of players who now, because of, like, GTO are not, like, deviating, like, as much as they should, and I mean, I feel like this is way more and more, like, newer players who kind of got, like, started using solvers, like, early on, and don't really have, like, enough, like, good experience yet to, like, exploit really well. But yeah, I mean, I think there's, like, a decent amount of players who are, like, definitely, like, exploiting, like, way less than I am. So I feel like I've kind of already, like, gone through that stage in poker, like, just way earlier than other people, because let's be honest, like, not as many people were using solvers when all you had to use was Pio, because it was, like, way more complicated and, like, took forever to run. But I actually did do that, and anyway, what I learned is that like, the best use you can get out of solvers is using them to learn how to, like, exploit effectively, and, like, many of the exploits in solvers, like, they're, like, okay, a really experienced player could be able to, like, input, like, very, like, good ranges that, like, other people have, like, into the solver to node lock, but you actually have to, like, look at the node lock to realize, like, how crazy some of the exploits are. And, like, that's, I feel like, the big difference that, like, really sharp players nowadays have over, like, really experienced players from, like, I don't know, 15 years ago, before solvers existed. Like, both types of both of those players might be able to input like really good like ranges like into GTO Wiz to no lock, but only the players who actually go and lock it are going to see how like sick some of these exploits are. Yeah, but anyway, that's my whole little rant. Because like some of the exploits like are wild. Like some of these things like you cannot like you can't just like you couldn't be around like 15 years ago before solvers existed and just think of this shit yourself. Like you would have to be kind of like psychotic to like try some of the shit that like the solver does. But yeah, I'm probably saying too much, but yeah. And you also need to like try it like over and over again, like just like actually like experiment with like these outputs like online and like see that like some of this shit is like actually looks like insane but really sick. Anyway, I hope yeah. Anyway, I'm sure that I just like really bored the hell out of everyone listening. But I don't know. I'm sorry that I'm just like a really boring girl. I don't really know what to do. Sorry. Okay, last thing I'll say is like actually the first thing, like I guess 2.5 years ago now, that made me start really thinking about like, which is obviously way too late in life to realize this, but the first thing that really got me thinking like, wait, I really need to be trying to figure out like what other people are thinking, not like based on what I'm thinking, is basically like someone told me, okay, you know how like, okay, basically girls are really attracted to like guys who are like, I guess, really confident and like maybe like aggressive isn't the right word, but like really assertive, like outgoing. So girls think, okay, that's how they're thinking, like that's how themselves are thinking, that's how they think, that's like how that's like what they would want in a guy. So they think, oh, guys are thinking the same way. They want a girl who's super like confident, really like assertive, super outgoing, and like, okay, yeah, this might be some guys thing, but I would say like in general, I guess, well, I'm not a good example of this, but guys would probably more like a girl who's more like sweet and like, I don't know, maybe more like, I guess, again, can't speak for all guys, but more like quiet and like not, doesn't always have to be like talking all the time and like super outgoing, but yeah, so girls think that guys want a super confident, like maybe a little bit like aggressive girl because that's what like they want in a guy, but then guys are thinking the opposite. And then the same goes for guys. Like I think because guys think like they would be more attracted to like a girl, like overall guys would more like a girl who's more like sweeter and like quiet. I feel like some guys get confused and think that that's like what girls want, but then actually like girls and guys like kind of like want the like more closer to like the opposite of like what they themselves want. But anyway, that whole idea like is actually like what got me thinking about all this poker stuff, about how like I should not be thinking of like when I'm thinking about what someone's range looks like, it shouldn't be like what do I think they have based on what I would have there, because actually my whole mentality was very different from like most people, especially at the start. Like I thought, oh, because the solver has like this winning .01 BB like bluff jam in this spot, like other people, and because I know that that's what you're supposed to have in equilibrium, that's what other people would have too, but obviously like that's not what most people would have. So yeah, you just like in poker always need to be trying to like put yourself in the other person's shoes, and I feel like a lot of people struggle with this in poker. Anyway, I guess this stream oh, I can't respond, but I was going to say Canada. But anyway, I can't, what was I going to say? Anyway, okay, I'm done with the stream now. I'm so sorry to you guys for boring you all with all of this weird, like, I don't know, all these strange rants. But anyway, thanks for watching. And yeah, I'm going to be streaming next week as well, so please watch. And anyway, thank you guys so much for watching.